What across your mind if I ask you, who is your enemy? Your friends? No. Your siblings? Not even them. Your competitors? No. You're wrong. Your enemy is yourself. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Suhaila Riskia Ghazali from Universitas Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, do you realize that the biggest enemy in our lives is ourselves? Let's say we are too shy to speak in public, we're having difficulty to controlling our emotions, or we are too often overthinking with others' opinions. These three examples can be our worst enemy that making us finally lose against ourselves. For instance, there were some people who were commenting on our lives asking, "When will you get married? You're 25. Even though perhaps at that time we were pursuing our dreams, and finally all the plans that we had planned were destroyed by ourselves agreeing with their opinions by saying, "See, you were supposed to get married." It ended up with you humiliating yourself, which was supposed to be your own support system, and instead becoming your own enemy. You lost yourself and you lose from yourself. And what should we do then? Simple. Win over yourself. It's like a battle between you and your old self, you know? It's about how you can change your previous bad habits. Winning from your old self is included as self-development. Winning over yourself is not about how you can achieve something, it's about how you can defeat your old self. But how do we defeat our old self? Ladies and gentlemen, here are some tips that may help you to defeat your old self and create the best version of you. First thing first, you need to know who you are. Every time we compete, we will undoubtedly recognize who our opponent is, right? You need to know a lot about yourself, about what you like and dislike, about what you want and you don't want, or about who do you want to be in the future. You should talk to yourself more because it will help you to decide which path you want to go and what you need to improve. With this, slowly but sure, you can defeat your old self. The second things you need to know when you want to defeat your old self is try to forgive yourself. Forgive for all the mistakes that you have made in the past. I have a favorite quote that hangs in my room for many years. It said, "Forget the mistake, remember the lesson." For example, when we got a remedial on our exam, some of us think that a remedial is something shameful, something bad. But if we see it from different perspective, remedial could be something good for us. Why? Because with remedial, we know which parts that we don't understand and which parts that needs to be repaired. Mistakes are not always going to be a bad things. Precisely, mistake is the biggest teachers that helping us to become a better person. Don't always regret what has happened. When we make a mistake, instead of regretting, we should fix it or even try again. If we make a mistake in a game, there's always a chance to try again, right? After forgiving yourself, you need to have a courage to face off your fear. Having fear is something natural. But if we don't face our fear, we will get stuck on our way. Let's take a look to the example of dealing with the fear of failure. Most of people are afraid to try new things because of the fear of failure. Whereas, there will be a lot of trial and error in our life. Precisely from that failure makes us know what needs to be repaired and what needs to be improved. I have a quote that I keep in mind. It said, "Fall 7, wake up 8." It means that no matter how much we fail or fall, we must never give up. Not only the fear of failure, we should have a courage to face the other fears. You attract what you fear. Instead of thinking about the bad things that haven't happened yet, why don't we just think about the good things that will happen? Other things that you should do if you want to beat your old self are be brave, take risk, and don't just stay in a nutshell. There's so many things in this world that we can try, but it depends on us whether we want to try it and take a risk or just let it be. For example, when we want to speak in public, we're afraid of a lack of preparations, or we're afraid what if our appearance is not good, or we're afraid that we will experience many obstacles, although we haven't tried yet. Therefore, we should have a courage to move to a new zone so that we can grow and not just sit there. Same as when we have to make an important decisions. Everything has its consequences. But to form a better version of us, we should have a courage to take a risk. Last but not least, keep your own definition of success in mind. Everyone has their own version of success. There are those who think that the definition of success are lots of wealth, prestigious jobs, but there are also those who think that the definition of success is the small progress that we made. Everyone's version of success is different, and we cannot equate our version of success with the others. In this way, we can process slowly and not be afraid of being left behind. We can also enjoy every process that we go through. Everyone has their own time to shine. Therefore, what we need to focus on against our old self is ourselves. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the conclusion is that the real enemy that we have to fight is ourselves, not the others. To become the best version of us, we must take big steps and also make a big change to our previous bad habits. There's no need to do it in a hurry. Do it slowly and enjoy the process. All the processes of change that we undergo over time will form a brand new version of us so that we can win over the old version of us. That's all from me. Thank you for your attention and forgive me for any mistakes on my words. Stay healthy and stay happy. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.